What we do here is go back.
What's going on out there, junkies? It's Kishiro. We're back with Culture Junkies Live. Happy Tuesday to you all. We hope you had a really great weekend. We know we had a really great time out at Free Comic Book Day at Green Brain Comics. We want to thank everybody that watched the stream. We want to thank Dan Merritt for actually hosting us and putting up with us and giving us a space to actually bring some of the fun and festivities of Free Comic Book Day to you. But we got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to belabor the point, but we need to go ahead and get to it. But let me introduce who's going to be on the show with me today. My good friend Josh L from Podcast for All Seasons. How you doing, my buddy? A few weeks off.
Not the case. So.
Right. It's never that easy. Oh, you know what? Actually, go ahead and reintroduce yourself. The sound, for whatever reason, wasn't working. So go ahead.
Oh well, I am Josh, affectionately known as Josh L on the show here, and I'm very happy to be here today.
Yeah. So Josh is back, and we got a lot to talk about. Certainly not least, we're going to be talking about Guardians of the Galaxy. That's for one thing. We're going to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy, but we're also going to talk about a bunch of other stuff. But let's go ahead. Let's recap Free Comic Book Day. Josh, you actually stopped by. What did you think of the shop and the show and what we did for Free Comic Book Day and all that other kind of stuff? What books did you pick up, by the way?
Well, I'm glad you asked, because I just so happen to have them all behind me, lined up for just such a question. I do. And there's quite a stack. So I actually went by two shops. So first things first, I'll answer your question. What did I think? I thought it was great. I thought it was really fun. I go to two different shops. I go to Big Ben's Comics Oasis, which is in Allen Park here in southeastern Michigan. And occasionally I do stop by the Green Brain, which is in Dearborn. So I went to Big Ben's first. They had a really big showing. I had to wait in line pretty long to get in there, actually, probably about a good 10-15 minutes. And then I came by the Green Brain. They had a much bigger event. I mean, there might not have been as many people. The Green Brain's not quite as big as Big Ben's. But, they had a DJ. They had comic book guests. It just seemed like the whole experience was a bigger experience. So I had a really good time, obviously, joined the show, which was very cool. You guys were just going to town. Kudos to our man GQ. He broadcast for, what was it, 3 hours and 15 minutes?
10 minutes, man. He went
3 hours and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nonstop, dude. The guy's a beast. That was a very impressive run, because it may seem easy to just sit there and even do the things that you like just talk about comic books or just have a good time, but it's work. It's hard to talk for an hour. I mean, my God. Mm-hmm. All right, but I digress. So I picked up Walking Dead 163. Big Ben's was giving this one away in Free Comic Book Day.
No kidding.
Yeah. It was. I think I might have seen it at Green Brain as well. We have Secret Empire. This was the Free Comic Book Day. I believe it was that one I got at Big Ben's. Picked up Riverdale one. I think this wasn't a part of technically the Free Comic Book Day, but oh no, it was. It says Free Comic Book Day right
Empire.
on it.
I refuse to read that book, by the way.
Secret Empire? Don't be hating.
I refuse.
Yeah, no, I've got. Well, we could diatribe about Captain America and Hydra a little bit later, but for now, this was actually, now these ones were not part of the Free Comic Book Day giveaway, But Big Ben's had a little gift bag, or no, I'm sorry, not Big Ben's, Green Brain had a gift bag, and these I got just for picking up anything and walking out of the store. So this one, House of Night, pretty cool. I got an older issue of Avengers, End Times, Avengers 31. And then I picked up an old issue. This was an old issue of, it was part of the Justice Society. It was a one-shot, but it was Magog when he was introduced us to Justice Society.
I remember that.
It was back from 2009.
You're showing all these covers, right? You're showing all these covers, and they all look really dope, but they're flipped, man. It's like they're backwards. It's like,
I see that.
Yeah, they're
to me
flipped,
they're
dude.
correct, but oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate. So, like everybody out there, I hope you don't think that the Junkies are dyslexic or something like that. So they're supposed to be able to read all that stuff.
I know there's a way. I know there's a way to flip, and I don't know what it is. So
you need to work on that.
All right. So then I have there was a sneak preview for Exo Man Wars. That was just freebies. That was literally just show up at the store.
Dude,
didn't have to pick anything.
Man. And these are
no limit.
These are non-free comic book day books that you picked up?
that was the. So this one I actually got. This is pretty cool. So the Dearborn Library was giving this away. They had a guy who was representing Dearborn Library. It's Star Wars. Han and Chewie Return. It was promotional material for Star Wars Force Awakens. There was a guy literally giving it away in line, and I really liked his tagline. He goes, come to the library where it's free comic book day every day. And that actually is true. I mean, if you got kids who are into comic books, they have a lot in the way of graphic novels and stuff like that, and even individual issues that you can read or check out at the library. So if kids are into comic books or you're trying to get them into it, you don't want to break the bank, you don't want them to necessarily ruin your collection, bam, you can get them to actually set up at the library there and ruin their books maybe. But
don't advocate for that. What are you doing?
No. Sarcasm. Okay, so last but not least, what I got from Green Brain, Exo Man of War, the actual free comic book. It was the also featuring some Bloodshot, all new Guardians of the Galaxy, DC's Wonder Woman, and then last but not least, the Betty and Veronica free giveaway. And I believe that's Adam Hughes art. That is some good. That is some good art right there. So, and America's Sweethearts, Veronica and Betty. So yeah, I made an absolute killing. I think that is a good 8 or 9 books for free on Free Comic Book Day. It was a productive Free Comic Book Day for me.
I'd say it was.
So did you actually get anything?
No.
Are you kidding me now? Come on.
No.
You were there for how many hours and you didn't get any free comic books?
I was there for like 5 hours, man, and I couldn't get anything. I like literally it was like I was running late. I woke up late. I got to the shop, set up the stream, and I was just
you were
working.
Busy though.
I was busy. I was eating those grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh my God, did you have some of those grilled cheese sandwiches, by the way?
No, and I'm really jealous. I'm gonna call out my friend Megan, who was there helping out as a volunteer, because she posted pictures of cookies that she made on Facebook. And so I got there expecting to be able to purchase cookies
that were downstairs. Did she make those?
Yeah, those were the cookies that were downstairs.
I didn't try them. I wanted to.
She said they were volunteers only, and I was like, what do I got to do to get some of these cookies? But yeah, so Megan, thanks for not giving me any cookies. But apparently the volunteers liked them though quite a bit. So
apparently, I wish I had gotten a chance to eat some of them. I didn't get a chance to do so. But in any case, all you junkies out there, I want you to go ahead and I want you to tell me exactly what you got from Free Comic Book Day. If you watched the stream, great. What did you think of it? If you didn't watch the stream, head on over to our YouTube. You can watch it there, or pay attention to our Facebook. You can see some of the clips We interviewed the artist for Carolyn Casey Novak, who was the artist for Lumberjanes. We also interviewed Jim Toe. That one isn't out yet. It's going to come out soon. Jim Toe is actually the artist of Youngblood. GQ actually surprised me. He was really excited to talk to that guy. I didn't even know he was into the Youngblood like that back in the day. Or maybe I did and I forgot. It's been a while because it's been a while since he's really been in the comic books. So it's like to see him that excited about a comic book was like really rare for me. So and then we also talked, of course, to Dan the man himself, Dan Merritt, who is the co-owner of Green Brain Comics, who surprised his lovely wife Katie by renewing their vows live right there at the store at the ribbon cutting ceremony with the mayor involved. It was actually all really, really sweet. GQ said he was all touched.
GQ said he was touched, and I didn't want to call him a liar. Yeah. I didn't want to call him a liar, but
I didn't want to call him a liar either because that's bad. I don't know about him doing all that.
I don't know that Chris has those types of emotions in him.
You don't want to say that he doesn't, but yeah,
he just has angst and toughness. That's it.
Absolutely right. So anyway, let's move on. That's enough about Free Comic Book Day. Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy is the #1 movie in the nation right now. Everybody went to go see it. A lot of critics were giving it like a lot of flack. Hey, Fallen Marvel, how you doing? It was giving it a lot of flack. We recapped it a little bit last week before the end. Kind of touched on what some of the critics had to say about it. But I want to hear from you, Josh, because you didn't get to talk about it. What did you think? You went to go see the movie with us. What did you think of Guardians 2 versus Guardians 1?
I would say that Guardians 1 is probably a superior movie, but it's not by like leaps and bounds better. I would say now some people would disagree with me, but I'd say that it was, I know that it gets a lot of hate. It's not Iron Man 1, but Iron Man 2, I think got a lot of beef. Some of it unnecessary. I mean, it had its faults, but it just tried to build on what one established, and it kind of went off the rails in a few different places. It's one of the reasons why it's looked down as one of the least it's one of the least critically reviewed of all of the Marvel films, all of the 15 Marvel.
I know
films.
that I'm sorry. I don't mean to bust in there, but I know that's Kahuna that took over the Culture Junkies feed and just said, "I'm Mary Poppins, y'all." that was without a doubt one of the funniest lines in the movie. Go ahead, man.
Right. Yeah. No, Yondu was fantastic. I'll tell you what though. That actually brings up basically my next point is that my beef with Guardians of the Galaxy 2, if you call it a beef, is I did enjoy the movie. It's a really fun movie. If you just want to go see a fun popcorn flick with your kids. It's PG enough that it's not going to be anything that your kids aren't seeing on TV. Maybe not take your 6-year-old, but you can get away with taking your 8, 9, 10 and up. But I think that one of the things that it lacked was truly spectacular scenes. I was not blown away by anything. I wasn't extremely disappointed by anything. The movie rode really hard on that middle line as far as I'm concerned. But one of the things that actually did stand out was Michael Rooker's Yondu. He's the best actor in that entire friggin' movie. He blows away. He blows away even Kurt Russell, who did a great job. And he blew away Zoe Saldana, who is probably the second best actor in the film. But other than that, I thought that the movie was just a solid second effort. I wasn't disappointed. I gave it like a solid B.
Right. And you and I were in agreement with that. LGZ, no, there will be no spoilers on the stream. The great Dadakuji is saying hello. What's up, dude?
How you guys doing, fellow junkies out there in Junkie Land Nation?
Doing good, Dido. What's up?
Not too much, having had a long day of selling drugs. It's on to play video games.
I love the way he comes in there saying that he's got the sauce, man. He knows how to peddle the drugs. So if you need a hit of some Vicodin, some Percocet, go see the great Dadakuji. That's who you need to see. Hey man, what'd you think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, bro?
I caught the tail end of what Josh there was saying, and I thought it was a solid effort. It was not better than the first one. But it was really good nonetheless. And I did like some of the character arcs, but a little bit of it felt disjointed. I'm not going to speak on to whom felt disjointed, but the action was still there. It was a very colorful and lively, spectacular looking movie. I mean, there was very little dull moments, or even if it was a little bit dull at the time, it was like the backgrounds of what was going on kept you interested. But the music, it was my biggest thing. Is like I really love the soundtrack that they put together for the first movie, and though there was a lot of classics from that era in this movie, I just didn't feel that they fit. Like I don't know what was the deal. They just didn't seem to fit like like the first one did. Because like Hooked on a Feeling, every time you hear that song, you're gonna think Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And there's not one song in here that makes me really think. They tried to push the song that what you call it. Hopefully this is not
Brandy,
a spoiler for you guys.
Brandy, you're a fine girl. Yeah.
Like that one. It was trying to be like the Hooked on a Feeling, but it didn't do it for me. But I like the movie, and I can't wait to see what's in store for the next Marvel movies, of course. And for all you guys, I know I don't have to say this to you guys out there, but do you believe that people were still getting up and leaving the theater as soon as the credits started rolling?
I'm used to it, man.
No.
I mean, literally, I'm so used to it because they're doing it all the freaking time. You would think that
13
after how many years has it been? It's been 8 years, 9 years after after seeing credits and all this other kind of stuff. You would learn to sit your asses down in the seats, wait until it actually says Marvel Studios at the very end before you get up and leave. Come on.
There were five scenes, and
I
people
shouted it out. I was like 5 after credit scenes, and like no, everyone in this.
They don't care.
They don't give.
It's like whatever.
Right. Speaking of the after credit scenes, you know what? LGZ is watching the show. She hasn't seen it yet, but without spoilers, because honestly, when you think about it, there wasn't a whole bunch of spoilerific stuff in these after credit scenes. They were just kind of fun, extra movie stuff. So it wasn't really like anything setting up anything in the future, except for that one scene at the end.
The one where they all die, or is that the?
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. No, we kid. No, they're not all dead, obviously. But you know what? What do you think of the after credit scenes? But also, I've been getting a lot of kudos and a lot of praise for Ego the Living Planet as a villain. Some people saying that Marvel has solved their villain problem, which that's a whole nother argument. I don't think they've necessarily really had a big villain problem. But what did you think of Ego the Living Planet, Josh? And what did you think of the after credit scenes?
Okay, so first things first, Kurt Russell is Kurt Russell. He's fantastic. Yes, he did a really good job as Ego the Living Planet. Technically, that goes into side.
As an aside, let me bust in here real quick. Dido, I meant to talk to you about this, but I know you was thinking at the very beginning of the movie, that's Quill's mom with Jack Burton, because he looked exactly like Jack Burton.
Yeah, he was old Jack Burton.
I was just like, yeah, it's Jack Burton. I wish they.
So technically though, we need to call spoiler because you just said that he's the film's villain. So.
Oh come on, everybody kind of knew that. Come on.
I'm just saying.
Knowing that is a spoiler.
Yeah, it's a little spoilery. I mean, okay, I will say this though. I mean, there's more than one villain. I'll say that. I won't say who the other villain is. There's more than one villain. Anyone who's ever seen a movie knows that when the new guy shows up in town and there's some bad stuff happening, and the really friendly cop just seems way too nice, you know that he's going to be involved in the shit that's going down as sure as the sun will rise tomorrow. It's just a movie trope. It happens all the time.
The sun will rise tomorrow. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So we knew that when Ego shows up with hugs and kisses and in a beautiful planet, that things were not going to be all that they seemed, and obviously that does come out to fruition. I thought that he was really good. I did read this thing about him solving Marvel's villain problem. No, I don't. I mean, having a compelling point. Chris talked about this slightly after the movie, but having a compelling narrative, or in terms of your decision making as a villain, and having compelling reasons to do what you're doing. I don't think that his reasons were particularly compelling. He lived up to his name, Ego, and I won't give away why. But I thought that he was a little one note, and I thought that the flip was way too significant. So, it is another common trope. It's like you can't have the guy be, Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Rogers, and then all of a sudden have him turn around and be Skeletor. Like it's just, the transition is way too unbelievable. I thought that he was a good, solid villain, but again, I thought that there was one point in the movie, I won't give it away, but basically it was Kurt Russell saying, "I did this bad thing that will make you hate me more than anything," and it was like, really, you needed to throw that in to like convince me that he's really a bad guy. It was just, it seemed a little bit over the top. When you guys when everyone sees the movie, you'll understand what I'm saying. But again, I'm not here to bash on Guardians. It's a fun movie. People who like the first one. Did you like Dancing Groot? You'll love Guardians of the Galaxy too. He dances for literally the entire first scene to the point of ridiculousness. I thought it was excessive.
Here, man. That shit was cute.
No,
that was great.
It was a little excessive. I preferred Groot as a fully grown, awesome, sentient tree man. No, I thought that the Baby Groot stuff was humorous. Yeah. I would have liked it if they would have maybe done a quarter of the movie. He goes to Ego's planet and Ego grows him back to full size or something. Like that would have been like cool with me. Like I would have been quite fine with that. Mm-hmm. It's just, I mean, the Baby Groot thing, it's like, it's a shtick. That's all it is. It's a shtick. It's a clickbait for cute, I don't know, anime fans. Like, it's just, it was like, hey, you know what people really went crazy about? Baby Groot at the end of, the end credit scenes of the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's make the whole movie Baby Groot. And it's like, you don't think that's a little over? He was
no joy in your life. That was
no, yeah, no joy. No, I thought he was
there just to sell toys, and don't try to lie to yourself.
Yes, because not only can you buy the Baby Groot toy from the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but you can buy Baby Groot in the outfit from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. That's 2 Baby Groot toys. That's one more Baby Groot toy than they were able to sell last time. So
come on, it was good. It was good.
No, I like the movie. I thought it was just above average, middle of the road. I think it'll go down in the pantheon of Marvel films somewhere along Ant-Man as being a fun movie that you could definitely watch. Yeah, definitely a fun movie that you can watch. You'll definitely watch it when you're doing the old, marathon. But other than that, I think it's going to be ultimately forgettable.
Well, time will tell. I mean, it's no Winter Soldier, which I still see as the pinnacle of Marvel movies.
Yeah, for sure.
But I still think it's good. Drax was hilarious. Yondu was great. I thought Kurt Russell, Ego the Living Planet was great.
Kurt the Living Planet.
Kurt the Living Planet. Yeah. GQ was like kind of getting after you in the comments, by the way. He's saying
that's okay.
They're doing the whole Baby Groot thing because it's called making money.
So, no, he's absolutely right.
He's right.
But here's the thing, like, okay, you know what else made money that you effing hate, Chris?
Batman vs.
Every
Superman.
Transformers movie.
Oh yeah, that too.
Batman versus whatever. You name something that you absolutely hate that makes a shit ton of money, and it will prove that it's it's quality over quantity. Just because it made a shit ton of money doesn't mean that it's great. That can be applied both ways. You could say it to movies that were made. Avatar. Come on, is that the best movie ever made?
Marcus Smith is like,
no, but it made $2 billion.
If you knew just how many movies, how many times he heard awe from his lady friend in the movie every time Groot was on the screen. Yeah, I can see that. I can totally see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people are saying who stole the movie. Jimbo Ice saw it and he said he thought Drax stole the movie. Kahuna says Yondu stole the movie for him. Marcus Smith was like Mantis was really fun. So
you're ugly. It's like I'm ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
why
I think that
That's
I think that Drax was really funny. I mean,
Drax was
I do
hilarious, man.
but the thing is that Drax, the only reason Drax works is because Dave Bautista's horrible acting, it goes along with the character of like the dry, I don't understand sarcasm Drax character. But like if you saw like him in anything else, he acts the exact same way, and you just realize he's just not that great at acting. It's not keeping him from getting parts. So God bless him. I mean, he was in the last James Bond movie and it was awesome. You know,
GQ just
he's
said he doesn't hate Transformers.
oh, I thought he was one of the Transformers haters. Okay,
No,
I apologize.
that's Dave.
I don't
Dave
want to
hates
assume what you like and don't
Yeah.
like, but I know that it gets a lot of beef from a lot of the junkies. So.
Yeah, and deservedly so. I'm one of them. So yeah.
Deservedly so.
I'm one of them.
I don't hate them as much as you guys do. But
so the after credit scenes, obviously it teased. You know, we can let the spoiler out of the bag. Honestly, I mean, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, if you that pod, you know, is Adam. Obviously, it's going to be Adam Warlock. He's already not confirmed to be in Infinity War, which is a shame. Which leads me to wonder exactly how Infinity War is going to shake out if he was an integral part in Thanos being defeated in the Infinity Gauntlet comic book series. How's that all going to shake out? What do you think is going to happen with Adam Warlock when he comes out of that pod?
You know, I don't know enough about the him as they affectionately refer to Adam Warlock. But I mean, he's like, I mean, as far as power levels are concerned, I mean, like the guy is out of control. So I mean, like he puts almost every other Marvel character that's been in the movies so far, except maybe Nova. I mean, not Nova. Captain Marvel, who will be coming up shortly, to shame. I mean, like in terms of
by leaps and bounds.
Yeah, in terms of power levels, and they're saying that she's going to be the most powerful in the universe when she arrives. So he's going to blow that away. Like it's just insane. So I don't know how they're going to bring him in. Yeah, the fact that they're not going to tie it into the Thanos thing is an interesting thing. But they did something like that earlier. Like I can't remember. It was a character from one of the storylines. It might have been from Winter Soldier, or it might have been from Civil War, where they were a lot more integral in the storyline, and they weren't even in the films yet. I can't remember specifically which character it was, though, but I know that it got a little bit of beef from Marvel fans. I want to say it was during Civil War or during the Winter Soldier, where they were like, how can you have the Winter Soldier without this character who hasn't been introduced yet? And it was like, okay, that's fair. So I think it's going to be the same thing with Adam Warlock in the next Avengers film. So
yeah. Now there's a couple questions actually in the chat right now. Jimbo Ice is like, you know, he was speculating and saying, is Guardians 3 going to happen before Infinity War Part 2? And then Marcus Smith said, do you think, you know, Adam Warlock might pop up in Part 2 of Infinity War? Yes, I do. I fully expect him to. And it's the birthday boy. Simon says over there on YouTube, yes, we are talking Guardians. And to answer Jimbo Ice's question, I'm not sure if it's scheduled before Infinity War Part 2. I think it might be. And you know, for the purposes of the story moving along, they probably need to. So I fully expect him to pop up in Infinity War Part 2 because he's he's Thanos' big nemesis is Adam Warlock. That's who he's always been. So I fully expect him to show up in Infinity War Part 2 to kind of help defeat Thanos at the end. Which makes me wonder, how is Infinity War going to shake out if at the end, if Thanos, reigns triumphant, what's going to happen? I mean, like, really? Yeah, yes, LGZ, we know his cradle was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but that wasn't necessarily official, so we can't really, worry about that. So
that was Easter egg.
Yeah, that was an Easter egg thing. That was just for the fans to pick up and all that other kind of stuff. Stacy D Pro is checking in on Twitch. What's up? He says, any thoughts on the Guardians 2 soundtrack? Definitely some inspired choices. Daidakuji already weighed in. He said he didn't like the Guardians 2 soundtrack compared to the first one. Neither did I. Josh is a little bit different. He liked the soundtrack for part 2.
It just wasn't as strong.
It wasn't as strong.
No,
right? Yeah.
it was a solid soundtrack. It just wasn't as strong nearly.
Agreed. Agreed. I mean, they milked that Brandy, You're a Fine Girl song. They really did.
Right.
What a wonderful wife you would be. Yeah, they milked the hell out of that. But anyway, now on to what was the coolest thing you saw in Guardians 2? For me, it was seeing the fucking Watchers. That was the coolest thing to me. Seeing the Watchers was sweet.
So do we think that Stan Lee is a Watcher? I mean, I know that people have talked about it online.
I know that is like floating out there that, yes, is he a Watcher? Is he not? I don't think he's a Watcher. I think it was just I know he was credited as the Watcher's informant,
right.
But I don't think he's a Watcher. I mean, even if you look at it, yeah, he kind of even referenced his role as a FedEx courier as he was in Civil War, even though, if you guys didn't pick up on this, okay? If you guys didn't pick up on this, this movie chronologically does not come after Civil War. If you guys didn't know that. Daidakuji actually was one of the first people to pick up on this after we left the theater. If you think about it, when the movie starts, right? Go back to the beginning of the movie. If you go see it again, LGZ says she saw it 4 times, so she probably remembers this part. The very beginning of the movie said Missouri, Earth, 1980. And then after that short little clip happened after the Dairy Queen scene and, Ego's little seed that you saw, it fast forwarded to 34 years later. I actually had to explain this to my kids on Sunday when I took them to see it. 34 years later is 2014, which is exactly when the original Guardians movie came out. So this movie took place soon after Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 came out. That's when this movie takes place. That's why Groot is still a baby. Yeah, he hasn't aged 3 years because it actually takes place. It could be maybe a couple months after Guardians of the Galaxy. And then as we see at the end of the movie, in one of the spoilerific after credit scenes, we saw what happened to Groot, and it lets you know that now they fast forwarded to probably present time. But what did you think about Stan Lee's cameo and also the chronology of this movie? Why do you think they did that this way?
It makes it possible for them to introduce them into first things first. It makes it possible for them to have a third movie that will actually be in continuity pre-Avengers 2, or I'm sorry, Avengers 3, Infinity War. While simultaneously allowing them to have these supposed exploits that they'll probably tease in Infinity War that we haven't seen yet on screen. It doesn't constrict them narratively, having to fall in line chronologically is my guess. They're obviously, I mean, it's Marvel. They've got a plan. It's Feige, so he's got a reason for it.
Usually.
I mean, the real obvious answer is because they wanted more baby fucking Groot. That is the reason.
Yeah, okay. I can see that.
They're like, let's make it 5 years later. It's like, no. Baby Groot.
More baby Groot.
And it was like, Johnson, you're a genius. That's how I assume that conversation went down in the boardroom.
That's his old school Hollywood accent. That's pretty cool.
Right, exactly.
Okay, but yeah, honestly, you're absolutely right. I think it was a way for them to milk Baby Groot, but also be able to show up some of the more cosmic exploits, maybe to even fill in the blanks a little bit before we get to before we get to Avengers Infinity War, when they're obviously going to show up. So honestly, when they do show up in Avengers Infinity War, they're going to be a whole lot more seasoned. They're going to be they're going to actually know their stuff. So actually it will kind of make them have that same stature as the Avengers, because honestly, from what I understand with Infinity War and the way it's been rumored to be going about, is that Infinity War, the Guardians are actually supposed to be taking charge. They're supposed to be taking the lead, because the Avengers are going to be kind of maybe having to go in space. They're going to be out of their element. So Guardians are going to be the ones actually kind of leading the chase. And honestly, could that be a little bit of a scary thing to think that the Guardians, Peter Quill and the other Guardians might be leading, Captain America and the Avengers and Iron Man. They're going to be looking at these dudes like, what the fuck is up with these guys?
I mean, it makes a lot of sense though, because okay, now that Gamora and Nebula have kind of, spoilers? Question mark. Well, if anyone has even seen promotional stuff from the film, they'll know that we see Gamora and Nebula in the film. So the fact that they have that father-daughter relationship, surrogate daughter, a relationship with Thanos, it would make sense. No one has met Thanos yet of any of the Avengers. We know that Tony had the vision, but I don't think that anyone has actually witnessed Thanos or even necessarily knows that he's one of the driving forces behind some of the things that have been happening behind the scenes in these films, including, they've been introducing the Infinity Stones, but I don't think so. It makes a lot of sense. Also, guess what? While the Avengers have been putting in the old college try on Earth, the Guardians of the Galaxy have saved the universe twice in less than a year. I mean, so it makes a lot of sense that it would be like, hey, listen, we fought this guy. Hey, by the way, we are familiar with this group called the Nova Corps, who literally are like the baddest asses on the planet. Oh, also, by the way, our boy Yondu hooked us up with the Ravagers, and they're a bunch of space badass pirates. Like, I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense that, and we don't quite know Gamora or Nebula's power levels compared to the Avengers that we know, because we're seeing them fight in space against space monsters.
Very true.
Gamora literally
is the most dangerous woman in the galaxy for a reason.
Yeah, she picks up a gigantic turret gun that falls off of a ship.
And she lifted that boy up like it was nothing. Like, okay, yeah, here.
Right. What it reminded me of? It reminded me of the scene in the Jim Carrey version of the Grinch Stole Christmas movie, when he picks up the entire gigantic thing, and it's like there's no way that this little tiny body can pick up this gigantic thing, and that's kind of what it looked like. It was almost like comical, which I think it kind of was supposed to be, but. Yeah,
honestly, some comments in the chat are touching on some stuff that I would like to see. Give me Nova. I want to see Nova, man. Where in the hell?
I know.
I want to see Nova Centurions, dude. Not just the Nova Centurions that we saw that are depowered, flying the spaceships. No, I want Human Rocket, Nova. I want that Nova. I want Rich Rider. I don't want necessarily the kid, even though I don't mind the kid. But I want Rich Rider, Nova. Let me give Corey Edwards from Blacker Than Black Times Infinity. What's up, man? Welcome. Thanks for watching the show. He says he thinks the closest out of the Avengers that probably would know Thanos or be in tune with Thanos is Thor. But I think Thanos is so good. I don't think even Thor knows about him that well. But let's final thought, and then I want to move on to a couple of other things before we wrap up the show, because we talked about Guardians a lot, and there's some other stuff I wanted to get to. Any
final thought from me.
Final thoughts?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, take it, Dido, and then I'll comment.
Sorry, I was enjoying the Milano cookie. Milano sent us a check, or Pepperidge Farms, because you guys remember us.
Members.
But no, I mean, basically everything you guys touched on, I kind of agree. I want to go see the movie again so I can pay attention to other stuff. But everything about the movie screamed Marvel. To me, Marvel has yet to put out a bad movie. They might have put out an average movie, but not a bad movie yet. So I enjoyed it. I encourage anybody who hasn't seen it to go see it. Go see it, at least 2 times. And I can't wait for Spider-Man, which is next. Even though Wonder Woman is next, but for Marvel movies, I can't wait for Spider-Man.
Yeah. Josh, real quick.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun movie. If you liked Guardians of the Galaxy 1, go see this one. You won't be disappointed. You might like it more. You might like it slightly less. You're not going to hate it at all. You're going to enjoy it. You're going to have a good time.
Right. All right. So one of the things that I wanted to get to, guys, was some of the really awesome trailers that actually came out over the weekend and the past few days since we've had the show. One of them that caught a lot of people by surprise at the Marvel upfronts was Runaways, and this is kind of a leaked trailer. This is going to be on Hulu, as a Hulu exclusive for Marvel. The Runaways is a very popular a popular comic book series starring the superpowered children of a secret cabal of super villains who don't know that their parents are supervillains, and they actually have to run away from home and kind of avoid their parents, and try and survive, and then eventually take down their parents. It's actually a really good book. A lot of people really liked it when it first came out, and I think I'm really excited to see where's it going. What did you guys think of Runaways when you kind of heard it was coming out? Did you guys see the trailer before?
Didn't see it. I've heard about it. It's one of those series that, along with a few similar ones like it, like Mark Waid style comic books that have come out, Jupiter's Legacy and things like that. It reminded me of that. It sounds interesting. I'll definitely check it out.
Dado, what about you?
Didn't see it. Know nothing of it. I like to take a look at it when we go off air or what have you.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan of trailers nowadays because we've spoken about this many times, is how they give way too much of a movie away. So personally, I look at a teaser. That's good enough. If the teaser looks good, I go see the movie. I don't need 4 or 5, 12 different trailers because, they're going to start. That's like a half hour in a movie.
Yeah.
And
I understand.
I don't need
I totally get that. I totally understand. Cloak and Dagger was kind of the same way, even though I think we barely talked about it a little bit, but the Cloak and Dagger trailer really impressed me. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And yes, Stacey D Pro, it is going to be on Freeform. We did touch on that a little bit earlier, but that's going to be a show that people are going to want to, if you love Marvel and you're into Marvel, you want to kind of pay attention to that. But yeah, Runaways, I think, is going to be one of those teen Marvel hits, and it does take place in the Marvel MCU. There's a confirmed tie-in to Doctor Strange, I heard. So yeah, I think that's going to be pretty interesting. Another trailer that came out over this past week or so was the trailer for The Defenders. Now, say what you will about Iron Fist, but the Marvel Netflix shows are incredible, man. They are incredible. I'm looking forward to this coming out. I mean, seeing, as you see on the screen right now, seeing Matt Murdock come in and say, "Jessica, stop talking. I'm your attorney, Matthew Murdock," interrupting Misty Knight. I mean, dude, everything about this trailer just got you hype. From, Luke and Danny squaring off in the alley, and Danny clocking him with the Iron Fist, and Luke's skin rippling and stuff after getting hit. What'd you guys think of this trailer, man?
Yeah, you nailed it. It was hype as all hell.
Yeah.
I haven't actually haven't finished Iron Fist, but I'm actually really excited to see Jessica Jones again. I'm really excited to see Jessica Jones again. Obviously, I'm excited.
Ritter or something, man?
I'm excited. No, I just thought it was a really good show. I'm really excited to see Luke Cage again. I'm really excited to see. That hit. Sorry,
yes.
It was just on the show. Yeah, it's very, very impressive. That will probably be more exciting than all of Iron Fist. But
yeah, it probably will be.
I'm excited. It was high hype.
And seeing Elektra being, having Elektra be a part of the show. Seeing Sigourney Weaver's, mega villain also being revealed, seeing Stick being in there, everything about this thing just looks like it's going to be like the best freaking show Netflix has ever done Marvel-wise. I mean, because think about it. They don't have to waste any time jumping right into the show. Like they can hit the ground running because they don't have to set up anything. They can just go. Just go.
Only if, because as you know, being the fact that Iron Fist was on a tight schedule, according to the articles that I read, the reason why the martial arts was so terrible is because they didn't give enough time to actually perform them well. Now,
that ain't
hopefully,
got nothing to do with Finn Jones
the Defenders doesn't. Well, no, it has nothing to do with him. It was the production schedule. It was the way how things were rushed.
Mhm.
Hopefully, they did not rush the Defenders. Hopefully, they didn't rush at all because you got the Punisher is still coming up, and I don't know when that finished. That's supposed to be coming out this November, if I remember correctly. The Defenders is this August, so they had the Iron Fist, and then if they're using the same production, have you people to shoot Iron Fist that shoots the Punisher that shoots Defenders. Hopefully, they took their time because Finn, what's his name? Finn what?
Finn Jones.
I forget his name. I want to say Balor. I don't know. I want to say Finn Balor. It's Finn Jones as the Iron Fist. He's in both. Now, Matt Murdock, a.k.a. whatever the heck the actor's name is, Daredevil, he had some great fight scenes. They did it very well because it was the first one out of the gate, and they did have some, time in order for them to do it well. Hopefully, I'm just saying because I don't want to. I hear all the hype. We were all hyped up about Iron Fist, and then a lot of people were very disappointed with the martial arts, basically because Iron Fist didn't seem like the Iron Fist. I just hope he seems like the Iron Fist in the Defenders, because for me, I think it's going to be the same character, meaning he's still going to be a whiny bitch, and I hope that doesn't carry over.
Speaking of potentially whiny bitches, I don't know. What do you guys think of the Inhumans teaser trailer? Obviously, they didn't show anything. They showed absolutely nothing, but they showed the title crawl. And you kind of heard Maximus talking about possibly doing his thing and kind of betraying Black Bolt and all that other kind of stuff. But and of course, you also saw that really bad cosplay photo they put out there of the costumes. What'd you guys think of it?
When I saw that, I was like, y'all got any more of them Daredevil episodes? It just didn't do it for. It just didn't really do it for me. I actually was reading this week's Entertainment Weekly, and that's where the shot was from. And I was flipping through it, and I just saw it, and I just stared at the thing like a train wreck for about 3 minutes, and I was like, my wife slapped me on the back of the head, and I was like, where am I? And it was so bad. I was like, what day is it? No, it was really bad. It's like really bad cosplay. I mean, the funny thing is people are kind of like, I saw some people online comparing it. They're like, oh, these horrible leather outfits. What is it? The CW? It's like, no, the CW's outfits are better by a long shot. And none of the characters. You look at Deathstroke in the Arrow show, or you look at like Zoom or worse, Black Flash, and you tell me that they don't look better than Medusa, for God's sake. That horrible wig, and I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get crass.
That Medusa wig was really bad, man. I ain't gonna front. It was really bad.
It was just I don't know. I could continue, but it was bad.
It was bad. It was really bad. Dido, are you at any point, are you like hyped at all for the Inhumans? Because
I know nothing of them. I enjoy everything that comes out from Marvel, and if it follows the level of what this season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is doing, if it follows that, then I am really going to enjoy watching it, because I know a little bit from what I read on Wikipedia. Sorry, guys out there, I'm not a big comic book fan, so I never read the books about the Inhumans, and I realized that there are going to be some kind of adjustments. It has to be, unless they are still coming from outer space or something like that. I don't really know. But regardless of the fact, if it just keeps that level up of intensity, the good writing, yes, the costumes may look bad right now. They might get better over time. Who knows? We don't know that. And maybe that was just a bad picture or something. I don't know. I'm really loving Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. now. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. introduced the Inhumans into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Granted, it's the television universe, but whatever you want to call it. Because I mean, I don't know if I have enough to get excited. I'm excited about tonight because at 11 o'clock, I'm going to sit down and watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's what I'm excited about. I'm excited to watch that. So,
absolutely. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been freaking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic this season. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that. But, I'm fresh out of trailers. I don't have anything else to show you. But actually, I do have something else to show you. It's a kind of a teaser. It's something that I kind of want to do for the show moving forward. I'm gonna work really, really hard on trying to do it. And actually, there's a lot of things coming up for the show that I kind of really want to do. Kahuna, I know you're watching the show. You better get me my damn transitions that I asked you for. I'm putting it out there in public for everybody to hear. This man owes me some video work. He better deliver. That's all I got to say about that. Now, who here was a fan of Attack of the Show? Attack of the Show on G4. Who used to love?
It was fun. That wasn't where isn't that where that one hottie came from?
Yeah, that is where Olivia Munn came from, and I loved the show when G4 started to come later in life because they had nothing on there that was good because it was supposed to be for gamers, and it started off that way, except for they didn't have enough content, and then they got bought Tech TV, and then you thought the content was going to come, and then no, they just show cops for 24 hours.
Oh, you know what?
An American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry. Let me back up.
Blade Runner.
Let me back the.
Oh, you forgot about Blade Runner?
Yes, I forgot about the Blade Runner trailer. What did we think about that Blade Runner trailer? That thing was.
I think the
awesome.
word you're looking for is the whip. It was the whip.
Yeah, that thing was badass, dude. That thing was really sweet.
I'm calling it now. You guys are going to be disappointed.
He's probably not wrong, but I'm telling you, when I heard that Vangelis soundtrack jam in the background, I was like, oh shit, someone's going to watch 3 cuts of Blade Runner tonight because it was super legit.
Yeah.
I want it to be good. I really do. But nerds out there have proven us right time and time again whenever they bring back some kind of franchise that nerds love. Star Wars, RoboCop, Terminator, you name it, Aliens, they've all been disappointed.
Star Wars was a massive success, and a lot of people loved it.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying. It made a lot of money. Who here has talked to somebody who complained about the prequels? Left and right. The prequels are Star Wars.
Oh, the prequels. I thought we were talking about the next trilogy.
They are Star Wars, but people even complained about the next trilogy. They said that the newest
they hated episode 7. They did.
But now you're touching on a fact that is irrevocable.
I'm just talking about how nerds talk about it.
On stuff. That's period. What's going to happen?
Yeah, and a lot of these nerds,
all the time.
A lot of these nerds have been really loud about it. A lot of them have been, and when it comes to science fiction, that Blade Runner is one of the most beloved science fiction. It started the cyberpunk genre, from my understanding. I don't think anything else came out before it, and it made a lot of. I mean, Ghost in the Shell is a remnant, I guess you can say, not a remnant, but it is around because of Blade Runner. And this movie's going to come out, and I want it to be good.
I want it to be good so bad.
I'm not one of those nerds that will say, it's not like this and then blah, blah, blah. I look at the movie and say, yeah, it's good or it's bad. But you're going to hear it. You cannot name one science fiction movie that has come out in recent times that either was a sequel or a reboot or a remake that people did not shit on.
It's true.
That's
true. Prometheus was an enjoyable film, but people shat on it a lot. You can't deny it.
A whole lot.
So let's be hyped about the trailer. Hold that inside of your hearts and go into the movie with that.
I love it. Also, that new Wonder Woman trailer was hype as hell. I can't deny it.
That was another trailer, but I didn't feel like I needed to really show.
No, we've seen enough trailers,
we've seen enough of that one. But anyway, back to my original thought about who liked Ghost in the Shell. This is about something that I want to do for the show. Who liked Attack on the Show? But the reason I liked Attack on the Show, one of the reasons that made me want to tune in, was this lovely woman right here, Layla Kaylee on the feed. Oh my God! Oh my God! Yes, this woman just made it go. I was like willing to watch the feed and tune into Attack of the Show just for her. I'm not gonna lie, just for her. I will watch Attack of the Show just for her. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because I want to do something where we're junkies, right? We're addicted to this stuff, right? We love this stuff. We can't get enough, right? So we need to feed our addiction. So I want to feed our addiction by bringing you guys the news of what is going to be coming out this week before this week coming up before we go on the show. Obviously, this week Friday is going to be this week is going to be King Arthur. King Arthur, which I hear is not getting really good reviews, but
Shocker.
Yeah, I know, right? But I mean, honestly, some of the guys have seen it and they actually really liked it. So, but obviously, of course, another thing that comes out next week before we actually get back on the air is Injustice 2. Injustice 2 is getting ready to come out next Monday. Next Monday night is a midnight release. Also on Tuesday, we're gonna be talking about Injustice 2 and all that other kind of stuff. That was this good? Was this game really great? How does it compare to the first one? Because people really love the first one for a lot of reasons, and obviously because the game is getting ready to come out, so we're gonna spend a lot of time talking about it. You see the Fighter DLC 1-pack trailer that I'm showing right now. It's got the Red Hood. It's gonna be Starfire. You got Sub-Zero in there. It looks like it's gonna be a really cool game. Are you guys gonna get it?
I mean, it definitely looks impressive. I'm not an enormous fight fan anymore outside of Tekken. But I will say that I liked the first game. I felt it was really, really clunky, and I couldn't get past the gameplay mechanics. They just didn't feel as fresh and tight as, like, say, Street Fighter. So, I mean, I'll probably get it just for story mode.
Just for story mode. How about that?
Yeah. Or watch YouTube videos. I mean, that's, one or the other.
Okay. All right. Well,
DLC already announced ahead of the game. Corey Edwards is not lying. I do say that is one of the ridiculous and sad truths of modern gaming is, guess what fighters we're going to have? Well, if it's DLC, then why isn't it in game? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's honestly, and I'm stuck between whether I'm going to buy the Supergirl pack or I'm gonna buy the $100 pack. I don't know, but I'm excited to play the game. I've been waiting for Injustice 2 for years, and it's getting ready to come out, so I can't wait for it to come out. So we'll be talking about that next Tuesday. Make sure you guys tune in if you guys really enjoyed the podcast. Please watch the replay. It's absolutely hilarious on the playback. I'm not gonna kid you. I watched the one that we did with YL and Muhammad from Ready Player One, who are getting really close to opening a bar, by the way. That was a really, really funny episode. So if you haven't watched all of our past episodes, head on over to our YouTube, subscribe, and like and share with all your friends and family that like all this nerdy shit like you guys do. So for Josh L, for the great Dada Kuji, I'm Kishiro. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We hope you all have a really great week. Go ahead and go buy Injustice 2 so we can all kind of have a really good time fighting each other. Peace out.
See you guys.
Gotta be a little bit quicker on the uptake there.